Good evening. Welcome to the audience with the Lord Choloply on this Sunday edition. With me is my co-host Mark Five from Sweden. Welcome, my dear brother. How are you this Sunday evening?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, brother Paul. The summer weather is very. I mean, we are in the summer now. Yeah, so I'm doing.
Yeah, and it's good to be here for another discussion this Sunday evening. And I'm very happy today, and you can still see the smile on my face, and you know where the happiness comes from when I say I'm very happy today
Yeah,
for
they go
for the
nice.
for the past 22 years. What
Yeah,
happened with us?
yeah,
Arsenal have finally got hand on the trophy. So the city is rare, and then on Saturday, my beloved team will be in another final, and I'm hoping that this time around they win that final. Then after that game on Sunday, we expecting 1 million people to turn out for the parade of the trophies. So I'm looking forward to Sunday, next Sunday. I might not be here because we'll be in a parade. So just to let you know, it will be quite exciting. We'll be on the move, supporting and following our team. So it's good to be here. What say you? I'll share the link with you. You can share it while we take a musical break. And when we share the show, we'll come back and then we will get into what is on the menu today.
I mean, I've been. I like the trainer of Arsenal, and as Pep Guardiola's student,
Yeah.
I knew that he would have transformed the team, and it just needed time. That's the time that some team uh, keep one set of players until that set go into retirement before they start to replace. And
Yeah.
it takes a long time for the player to gel together before you start the proceed. You, so that's why I took that a long time. But I mean, the Champions League also. I'm looking forward to Arsenal winning the Champions League. Yeah,
And I agree with you. I think it will be a good thing. Could you imagine Arsenal is a big team in Europe, but they have not won that league? That
yeah.
is
Arsenal not won the Champions League. Yeah,
no, that's they have not won that league. So and that is quite interesting. So it could be the year, we don't know. But they are the underdogs now, so we expect them. Because usually underdogs, when they put their heart to something, they may end up winning. So we look forward. If Arsenal really go for it, it could be the year. That's why it's final. Final is any one game. So
for me, those guys are going to give it their all because there's no big name. I mean,
mhm.
when I mean big name superstar on their team, you understand. So
Yeah.
they are going to play as a unit, and they're going to give it their all. Once they have reached this far, so that's one thing that Paris have to be careful. And Paris, they got a few big names on their team.
Yeah. Right. Okay, let's take a quick musical break. When we come back, then we'll introduce what is on the menu and then we'll start the conversation. I think Jamal will be joining us too.
And
So let's have a quick musical break while we share the
overlooked,
show.
and they're gonna be how they
Okay? We'll take a quick musical break and then we'll come back.
but report there's the echo coming from your end.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break and then we see.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. Y'all gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not corrupt. No one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not corrupt.
Good evening. Welcome to the audience with the Lord Choloply. Tonight is another edition of the audience with the Lord Choloply. With me tonight, my co-host, Kai Mark 5 from Sweden. Brother Mark, how are you? How's this evening and how is the great Sweden?
Yeah, greetings again, Brother Paul.
Yeah.
I'm doing good. And greetings to our wonderful audience. Yeah, hope people had a wonderful weekend.
Great, great, great. So,
First day of the week.
absolutely, absolutely, first day of the week, and it's happened to be a holiday tomorrow here. I don't know about Sweden. Tomorrow is holiday, so people can have a rest as well. And we're looking forward to that. And the weather been extremely, extremely, extremely good here. Everyone is in their short pants, short, I mean, sleeveless t-shirts, you name it. The weather is fantastic. So we
Mhm.
here, we just want to say to our audience, it's good evening. Can you share the show? We'll be looking at a few things today regarding Mama Liberia. What we it does not short of topic when it comes to Liberia. Liberia is a very interesting country. So we're going to put this up to explain to our audience the issue with the yellow machine, the most talk about yellow machine. Where is the yellow machine? Is the yellow machine what just brought in? Is it a political scheme that they talk about the yellow machine? We'll be looking at it. And then, interestingly, the executive branch of government in Liberia submitted the war crime code details to the House to look at it. So the question is there we just asking, is just a deny or just a delay? We just want to know whether just a delay or just a deny. We're trying to find out. And our third topic tonight will be about the Liberia Guinea border dispute. Everything gone quiet. So we just asking, has Liberia sold out? We just want to know. So to our audience, we need to share the show. We're having a good discussion tonight on this topic. So, Brother Mark, that's the layout of the what's on the menu tonight. You heard what's on the menu.
Yeah.
Yeah, where is the yellow machine? The most talk about yellow machine that people were jubilating, celebrating that we have yellow machine, 389 pieces of yellow machine coming. Three will go for each county. Everyone were excited about the yellow machine. Where is the brought 35 pieces of the yellow machine? It just became stuck. And on the bottom line, we came up with article the last time that didn't go well with the Ministry of Information that this yellow machine could end up in graveyard. And he got angry. He said that talking about why are we seeing that? So where is the yellow machine? Are they in the graveyard? Are they proofing the bottom line right here? What happened, my dear brother? Where is the yellow machine?
Well, that's a good question. And should be coming from the masses. Because it's money of the taxpayer. So they should be asking questions as to or through the political parties to be asking questions as to where the yellow machines are. Yeah, current because they brought some uh, portion of the yellow machine and somewhat in transit, so-called transit in the Ivory Coast, and up to now there's no detail being made available to the public as to when the rest of the machine going to be coming to the country. Uh, the person in charge, no one knows who's actually in charge because Bernie Samuka, who is the, the project manager when it comes to the yellow machine, uh, he's not talking too much to the public because there's been some contradiction statement coming from his end. So no actually know what's going on except to reach the minister of information to provide some information to the Liberian people. Yeah, and we
Oh,
are
so
in a
so
rainy
so
season.
but
I mean, we said this before on the show that even those yellow machines are going to go into fire anytime soon. because the rainy season now is really heavily across West Africa. Yeah.
So, but the thing is about this yellow machine that were brought in.
Mm,
Do you
mm,
know that it didn't go into the house for the
mm.
house to rectify it, where the money came from to pay for the executive justice? So it's illegal in any means of how they got the money. All that thing, it didn't go through the proper channel. So is that the reason why they bring in a PSP and then later they'll go to the house? Because something is just not right. And they said, they told us the cost of the yellow machine, the first one was 79 million. Then later on, it came to 22 million. And then it started coming piece. Everyone was excited. 35 pieces came. Oh, the whole country, yeah, the developmental, how they call it, party. But then for some reason now, when they brought Bernie Samuka in, the money that he even asking for, 51 million, is more than the purchase of the machine. So what the hell is going on? That's what the question is. You, if you bringing something in, you didn't budget what the cost, the training, everything before you went into buying all just to scam the Liberian people. So that's why we're asking the question. Is there another political scam, or the waiting comes 2028, then they put a yellow machine out for people to vote for them? Where the yellow machine?
You know, the thing about the problem with Liberia is very, very confusing and huge. And one of the main problems we got in the country is the way our people process their thought. And once I'm connected to Paul, no matter what Paul does, uh, he cannot be deemed ugly in my eye. You understand? So the same thing when it comes to the rules of law. So anybody that become president, once you attach to that person, there is nothing the person does wrong when it comes to violation of the Constitution. Uh, Here you are prosecuting Samuel Tuer for misappropriation of article mismanagement, whatsoever the terminology is. So you hold Samuel Tuer accountable today, and the same could come uh, when there's when there's a new government, because this yellow machine issue did not go through the proper channel, was never approved by the legislature. So and where the money is coming from and how the money got approved by the finance ministry to carry on this purchase. So it could be another, I mean, how they call it, prosecution of the finance minister. And, and yeah, Brother Paul. So, and also to add on is that you have, I would generalize it in another sense that because there are few lawmakers and many lawmakers, on the other hand, few lawmakers have the courage to question these things as to how they happen in the legislature, and many that sell out, for example, uh, for this envelope and are not doing the rightful thing and close their eyes instead of representing the Liberian people and questioning the management, which is the legislative government, branch of government. But instead, they take the brown envelope, don't give a rat as to the people money is being spent. When you got schools across the country, when you got children piled up in classroom, 50, 60 students, when you got teachers not taking their salaries on time, you got nurses not being paid on time, and you got hospitals that don't have even said the syringe and first treatment when a patient is being diagnosed of operator. You got no testing equipment that costs little or nothing, but you got these people spending millions of dollars for things that, I mean, won't benefit the country in a short run, neither in the long run, because the whole planning is just uh, nonsensical.
Right, right. Let's recognize a few person here. My dear sister Beatrice Choloply Smith is watching from Monrovia. Thanks, Beatrice, for watching. And I also see here Atta Memora watching from somewhere I don't know, but welcome to this platform. It's good to have you. So there's she said, Happy Mother's Day month to all of us. Happy Mother's Day, sis. So, yes. So, Brother Mark, you said something that caught my attention because they didn't do it properly, legally. Maybe that's why they're waiting. It could be the case that they're waiting until they go through the process for no one because civil society is now questioning them. If they didn't go through the house, where did you get the money from to purchase the yellow machine? Now you brought a yellow machine as a no library is on a course. Usually when those machines sit down, they see uh, uh the sea water or it's always is they eat them up. The inky get we get rusted. So
Yeah.
as they sit, it costs more money because you got to maintain them. And that maintenance of those yellow machines will cost more than the purchasing of the yellow machine. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So to our viewer, kindly share the show while we're doing that. I want to put this up there quickly for you to know what's on the menu. And what is on the menu is what we're discussing. We are actually looking at the yellow machine situation in Liberia. The most talk about yellow machine that everyone was excited about. We nearly 6 months now. We don't have a clue what the yellow machine have done and what the yellow machine tend to do. So we stay asking, where is the yellow machine? Is the yellow machine in the graveyard as usual, or are they keeping this until 2028 to use the yellow machine to win another election? That is the question. So we want you to kindly share the show and few of our colleagues. One of our colleagues will be joining us later, Jamal Kamal. Brother Mark, check your text message. So, but this is the situation we face with. So, to our audience, this yellow machine is the government using it as a scheme to scheme people, or what the intent of the yellow machine. We just be sitting down until 2027, 2028 before they put it out to confuse the citizen. So that's the talking. Want your comment here? Talk to us. This is quite interesting. Brother Mark, I want you to talk to our people. When something is not right, it's not right. It's good to do things right. And in the situation with the yellow machine, because the society is so gullible, people tend to follow. And I don't blame them because in Liberia, some people have not seen or running water to drink from. They drink from where? A plastic bag. And that plastic bag or water, it's not running water, it's where water that they kind of what will say purify and sell. So if somebody's first time seeing running water, they get so excited, and that's what they did with the yellow machine. They brought a yellow machine in to cajole the population that is going to be for development. But then in the end, we saw demolition. The people started demolishing people's homes, say they in the alleyway. So if you're doing all of this, then how long will it take for the yellow machine to get in operation? We have to be they coming to the election time and you put it there to say, oh yeah, for the countrymen who have not seen some kind of leave rules, then you use it to the advantage. So this is the question. So your thought, brother.
Yeah, Brother Paul. Uh, we first of all, the process in which they brought the whole yellow machine stuff uh, want to impress the Liberian people when it comes to project undertaking, right? The first thing they should have done was to send a few technicians to where they're going to get this machine from to do a survey on this machine and see if they're going to be the environment will be a friendly environment for them. So, for example, like in Sweden or in Scandinavia, most of the machines in Scandinavia, during the winter time, we have a very long winter period. So what they do is they pour salt, you understand,
Yeah.
on the row of these machines. They use salt, you understand, to protect whatsoever the machines from the rough environment. So, like some other countries, they don't use salt, you understand,
Mm-hmm.
they, because of the environment. And these machines, the reason why I'm saying this, because uh, these machines they are not brand, many of them don't look brand new. There's a video, there's a guy that did video on these machines, on the trucks, some of these machines being poor. There's an echo coming from, yeah, echo.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay,
Just go.
okay.
Yeah.
So, and a few videos today when the machines arrive in the country, you could see some of them rusty, you could see some of them rough up, you could see some of them with mud on it. So, where these machines come from, so exactly what you said, the longer they sit, who know the maintenance process that they got in place. So, and then two, uh, they never prepare the storage system as to where these machines going to be kept until uh, they been put into action. You understand? So they were brought to do road development and other development in the country. But all of a sudden, you just see some of them breaking up people's homes without any transit of resettlement. So before you break up people's home, you got this development, how to call this, plans. It's not a bad thing, but you must have place of transit for people when you want to resettle them to say, okay, we carry on this project in this area, so it's going to affect the next 10, 15, 20 family. But we have this place that we're going to use for transit until these people can be resettled into different homes. But other than that, besides that, you just went on breaking down people's homes without having a second thought, without even building somewhere to say, okay, these people are going to be for the time being until we find them somewhere, we find them somewhere to be. So the thing here is that a lot of guessing, uh, 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 business going on, or a lot of guessing activity going on in the government. Just jump up, uh, just jump up and start doing projects without proper planning. So, and then you have the people that vote for them left in left in limbo, and there's no solution to it. So who knows? You know, Liberian people, they are very gullible. The government could be waiting, and 2028 put these machines in the field, and Liberian people start jumping up to say, oh, the government is working our interest, the government, the yellow machine, they are outside now. The people who say the yellow machine were not going to come out now, the yellow machines are outside. You understand? So who knows, Brother Paul, maybe that could be their strategy, but then Liberian people should not be fooled because after 1 or 2 months, what happened?
But the thing is, what I'm gonna defend the people, the common people in Liberia. The several people
Mhm.
say they don't know better, and then somebody, because you know better, you have not seen nothing before. Some kids that were born before the war, they didn't see anything, and after the
Yeah.
war, those that were born, they didn't see nothing good. So the fact is that they breaking yellow machine and they breaking homes, and then here, oh, they put building roads because to conjure people in Liberia, when you do lay roads, yeah, the place was dusty before the men doing development. You get a point I'm making? So it could be their strategy here to conjure the city, to scam the citizen that, oh, let's release the yellow machine end of 2027, because that would be election time. People will be so to start opening alleyway for those greedy hunters, those thieves that we call the legislatures, because they will be taking those machines into their districts, say the open places for people to vote them back. That could be the end game of this crooked behavior. So the thing is, if you brought a yellow machine in the country, it had been sitting down for 6 months. Now in the rainy season, you cannot do anything with it. So you telling me by the time the rainy season end will be in 2027. You get a point I'm making. So then coming to the dry season 2027, that's when they'll put the yellow machine out. So they're using the thing to scam the people in Liberia. So I said the Joseph Nima Barker government, it is a BM government. And why am I saying this? Because this is a government that have no agenda. They only sit and think of what to do next. You know the BM activity when you go scheme somebody, say, yeah, what they turn the language they use, I play on the junks. So the citizens of Liberia are the junks. They play on us because we don't know better. That's how I see the whole scheme of the whole yellow machine. We the junk for them. You get the point I'm making? So I don't know how you see it, but I address the criminal as the BMs, and we the citizen, we are the junk because they play on our intelligence. Talk to me, my dear brother, and then we'll move to the next segment.
Yeah, but are you hearing?
I hear it loud and clear.
Yeah, I won't take the Liberian people to be, I mean, the way you described, and the only thing here is that processing of how government work and how to hold government accountable. There where the problem is, Paul, and it has a historical root.
Okay. But I think you kind of frozen.
And the root to this problem or to this problem that I will connect that to the 12 years of the state UP government. So
Okay.
the first 12 years of the UP government should have been the government to build institutions in the country. But instead of building institutions in the country, there were massive corruption during the 12 years of the UP government, which this current president, President Barker, also admitted that there was massive corruption in the government. So what we have now, the problem we face with now is an institutional problem where you have rules and regulations being violated across, and who to hold them accountable is very, very difficult. So Liberian people are not to blame for what is going on, but the only place that you can hold Liberian people accountable is that, like my political leader always said, that you can't keep doing the same thing and expect better result. So they keep voting for the same kind of a people instead of saying, wait a minute, we voted for this other government, we didn't see any changes. Now, these people, we had them for 12 years, they have come back again. And then, 2029, are we to trust these people and how far this country is going? You had your child, for example, 2005 or 2007, and since 2007 till 2029 or till 2027, that child going to be 20 years old. So in the same old condition, no improvement, the country's going back. Even the time the child was born, it was much better than the child being, how they call this, an adult. So the country is not going anywhere. So Liberian people are not to blame, but the people that they voted, the people that they voted are the ones that betrayed them. They are the traitors. Yeah.
Right. So the people That's what I said. The government just want to scam the people. That's the whole thing behind it because the level of which they're going. Because I don't see something that you have for production and then you bring it in, you're sitting down quietly and no one seems to talk. Everybody just waiting until you decide when to put it out. And that putting it out, we are it's 2026 we in. So the rainy season lasts for 6 to 7 months in Liberia because of climate change. It could be up to 8 months. So by
Yeah,
the time we get into the dry season, that is 2027. So when you enter 2027, that will be the fourth years of the Unity Party government. So now we're coming, if in the remaining 2 years, people will be campaigning. So that's
yeah,
when they intend to put the yellow machine out. So to
exactly.
conjure our people, that's the whole thing behind this yellow machine. So why on
There
earth
you
that the yellow
there
machine be
you go.
packing? You see?
Yeah,
They
there you
done
go.
the calculation and they work it out. So at the moment, the yellow machine, they keeping it in the graveyard, and then come 2027 October, the dead machine will wake up from the graveyard and start breaking homes and start doing all sort of things, and then people will be carried away. That's the intent.
And the Liberian people should not be fooled by that. They
Exactly.
should not be fooled by that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of
Yeah.
project the yellow machine going to carry on that going to benefit them tomorrow? That's the judgment they need to be making. Yeah. How long the yellow machine going to go into operation for? Are they going to complete the project for which they are being unleashed? So Liberian people need not to be fooled because of few yellow machines here and there, but what the whole project present the project to the Liberian people, a full project, how the project going to start, and what the end going to be, and what the benefit going to be to the Liberian people. So these are things Liberian people, the judgment Liberian people need to be making. Not because you put yellow machine, the fee you pay, how the college say 1.5 mile, and then two, I should jump up the ladder and vote for you. Yeah.
Thank you, brother Mark. And I think that we should just conclude on it that these guys are all set. They playing it well. It's all set for 2029 before we see this yellow machine, which of course the maintenance bill, where the money going to come from, that's another story for the day. So we'll move on to the next topic if you don't mind, or you want to close or something, or what will be the solution to this. Liberian people should not be carried away with this guy because job creation should be the key in the whole thing. If job creation is not, if you want to create job, why park the yellow machine? I thought by this time you're supposed to be having uh, uh, some sort
Yeah.
of training with these people, but you
Yeah,
can't
but
wait.
I
Yeah,
want, I want to add on this because it was so good you brought it out. I wrote it somewhere, and I forgot it because I saw a guy who did a video regarding the recruitment process of this yellow machine, and according to what I saw, the recruitment process is very slow. There's no encouragement from the public from the government rather, that the public show interest in going for this recruitment. I don't know what the problem is. He didn't elaborate that much, but there seems not to be uh, interest from the public, and that has to come from the responsibility of the government. Because if you're talking about job creation, you two operators for each of these machines, and you're talking about 200 some more yellow machines that almost 800 some more jobs, and then to maintain the process. Where are they going to be retained? You won't have one mechanic to operate. Uh, to be responsible for one of the machine. So you need
yeah.
to have like one or two mechanics. So these are job creation. You understand? But other than that, the public is not being told anything how the recruitment process is going on. So these are questions that the lawmakers, the opposition lawmakers, need to be calling the executive branch or the public work minister and the Bernie Samoka as to how far the process has gone and how far it is, yeah, how far it has gone. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you, brother Mark. And I think they're really missing the mark here because if up, if the citizens are crying for jobs, and you have the means to create jobs, and you decide to park where will create jobs, there's something not right with you, man. I don't know how this guy operate. Something just not right. So let move on. Before we move on, want to talk a little bit about this event that is coming up. This event will be the Liberian July 26th celebration. It will be, this is sponsored by EFLA, and EFLA will be having this thing in Antwerp, Belgium, from the 25th of July. So those of you that are following, if you are interested for a short little summer vacation, this will be here on the 25th of July in Antwerp. That weekend, there'll be a lot of activities going on. So if what part of Europe you are, you can follow the group and you also join us in Belgium for this celebration. I think what EFLA is intent to do, to, because last year Minnesota took the how they call it, the lead, and EFLA want to, Europe want to do something bigger than that. So this is where we are. So if you anywhere in Europe, if you want to join, that will be on the 25th of July in Antwerp, Belgium. So we will move to the next segment of this program. This is about the War and Economic Crime Court. So we want to know whether justice delay or justice denied. The reason why we're bringing this up, the executive branch of government submitted, because there was a report from the committee set up, and they came up with that report and gave it to the president. The president now have sent it to the legislature for ratification, because if it goes well, according to the story, by the 27th of June, the court should be active. I don't know where they got the money from to build all of the facility, but this is what I want to look at. And the reason why we're bringing the War Economic Crime Court back, we remember when George Weah took over his very first United Nations, when he visited the UN. When he came back from the UN, generally asked him about the War Economic Crime Court. And George Weah reply was, he could not do anything, and he sent it to the house. Today, President Barker meant to set the World Economic Code from day one. Now he set a committee. The committee came back and did a finding and they have laid out what to be done. So the president now sending it back again to the house. So my dear brother, and to our audience, why are these people keep juggling with this war and economic situation? Why they can just come straight and nail it? Brother Mark, what say you?
yeah. This war and economic crime code stuff is like a football game that is being played on the Liberian people. No president want to take the responsibility of prosecuting warlords in Liberia. So that's how I see it, because every now and then, from one president to another, they recognize that the War Economic Crime Court need to be established when they are not president. But once they become president, then their feet get cool on this war and economic crime issue. And the thing I want to believe that, I mean, I strongly want to say that they don't have the guts, yeah, to proceed with the war and economic crime code. And only going to take a president and a legislative branch that have the stomach to move on with the war and economic crime code for once, like other countries have done. And that would be a very good step for the Liberian people and for the society in general. because you still got few of these people that committed crimes, heinous crime in Liberia. So, for example, few time ago, I'm from the Crown Agent Belt. You got President Milton Blai. He was just hiding, and when this election, during this election, you were calling himself a rescue general. So a man from gospel, a man from how to call it, a religious man, turned out to be a rescue general, turned out to be a rescue general, and some of the same Liberian people that were calling for war crime code, and they were supporting this particular band. And they are, well, it's not just Bodneke alone. They led Prince Johnson and few other names that are still around. They were behind these people. So the whole war and economic crime code something. It's so sad, but I can't see except a different government apart from the Unity Party. Let me get a little bit serious. Except the different government apart from the Unity Party government and the CDC government. Yeah.
But interesting, you name some of these people, but in our house they have the law. A lot of lawmakers are war law, and they also on the TRC list of prosecutors, and then they send it to them. So they would receive it now and sit on it and decide if the thing should go on. So why are they playing games? Just
Yeah,
forget the whole thing.
but they are not majority, brother Paul. They are not majority.
I
The thing is,
agree.
the
I
thing is, brother
agree.
Paul. Yeah, go ahead.
I agree. They're not majority. But you see, you dealing with greedy hunters where somebody will the minority can pass brown envelope. Remember also, because this thing here, the current president was the founding father of the local defense force. So that local defense force could be dragging. So this guy have a way they'll be playing with the thing. Say, oh, it's at the legislature now. They will be delaying until this group leave office. That's the game they play.
Yeah,
You
brother
see?
Paul. That's what I told you. I said the only way that war, these guys will be dragging the feet until, if possible, other than die. You understand? And when other than die, then before, if they're party, because if they like, all level the Liberian people, right? So if the Liberian people really want changes in Liberia, they will vote for a different government, not the Unity Party, not the CDC. But once they keep voting for these two parties, they're going to be, the Liberian people going to be play like uh, football, and nobody win. It just be a draw match all the time. So, but if you get a new government in that place with pressure, the new government gonna go with the TRC recommendation and then to proceed with the war and economic crime code.
Well, so you see
And if
where one
possible,
of
some
our
of these
viewers
people,
saying here, you see what one of the
yeah,
viewers saying here, when did the war, you say, when did the war end there? Who are the people going to get help through the war crime code? This is just an emotional blackmail using the war crime code to get votes. My brother, you have not said it better than that. This is the point. So they playing delay tactics with everything. You see, when Allen went to Liberia and this woman called Venture that come from the good governor or something going around, they had the money to give it to the Liberian government to just read a letter to UN requesting UN to step in. Joseph Barker, in his own wisdom, he said no, he's going to set up his own War Economic Crime Commission. So the commission now took how many months? Nearly a year, or nearly, because this is the third year of this government. They came up with their proposal. The president received it now, said, okay, I'm going to send it back to the greedy hunters in the house so they can look at it. And when the greedy hunters agree, and then we can now look for the money to start building new prison, to start to invite UN. There's a lot going on. So all that process, by the time it gets to the UN, this government is out. You see, this is what I'm saying. The game is just they're just playing the Liberian people. That's what they're doing. They're playing the game well.
Yeah,
So if go on.
yeah, but Paul, first of all, if this government or the past government or any government is serious for that matter, the first thing they will start to do is to engage other interest group outside externally and to seek funding and how best to facilitate the whole procedure when it comes to the war and economic crime court. And two, if the prison facility is not available or we cannot build, for example, for people, it doesn't mean that everybody who is on the war and economic crime court list uh, they say no one is guilty until proven guilty, right? So
Yeah.
people not just going to be grabbed and sent to prison. No, they will go through the procedure, and once you found guilty, then you be sentenced. And if you don't have the facility, you can call on, other international partners to say, look, we don't have the facility to imprison those that will be found guilty if there will be pardon from the Liberian people or from the how they call us a religious community. We don't know how the whole process. We have not gone through that process yet, or we are not come to that, and we need help from how they call it our international partners or friends, uh, how to proceed with the whole thing. That would be the first step of a responsible government. And then once that is done, then before you say, okay, now we have people that will be able to help us with the whole process, so we can now send it to the legislature, and the legislature with new, because by that time you're going to have new legislators uh, in in the legislature. So that's the step a government will be taking. But instead, you got nothing in place when it comes to prison facility, when it comes to funding, when it comes to experts as to
Mm-hmm.
how the whole thing works, how to carry on these judgments. You got no forensic. You need people that to assist with forensic, and these things we have to you have to appeal. So from your partners, like the case of a political leader that had to bring in some forensics to prove where the document was not tampered with. So that would be the same thing. People will come and give some verbal testimony, but these verbal testimony you have to have analysts to analyze where this person is telling the truth and where this person is telling the lies, and when this thing happened and at what time it happened, and you have other people outside stakeholders that will say, no, this person's testimony is incorrect because I was at this place and when this incident happened and there were few people. I mean, you don't you there could be public opinion as to when the whole process is unfolding, because it's not going to be something done in darkness. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, because this is what requires serious investigation, because somebody will lie on someone, although they're not going by the
Definitely.
TRC recommendation. So people will be coming so it's based on a story. And the thing is about crime, somebody can plan, stand in front of you, can shoot them. In court, you can get away with it free. It could be self-defense, be something. So all of these people, I just seen the thing. I don't think this is gonna happen. I think they just using it that, oh, they're doing something. I don't think this is gonna happen. You see, so that's how I see it. And they both party. I don't think they're waiting to, so they will just be playing games with people. And remember too, these guys that are leading, they have they get people that support them. So because those people support them, they don't want to kick them under the bus. So they will protect them. So they will just be using it. Oh yeah, the old man going to establish. So if you want to do something in the first 6 months of your government, that is where you set the agenda of what you're going to do. But you can't go halfway through. Then you say, now I send it to legislature. Now I'm going to do this. And you scare Prince Johnson until he got heart attack on the World Economic Court. So the rest of the people now are afraid because he was a big fish in the house. But naked, who support you, maybe you want to keep him around. Is the how to call it, the Rambo or something for the rescue mission. So these are they get that connection, so they might not fool the people. And I think that's not going to work. I think they're just using it as a means to tell people that they're doing work, but I don't think it's going to work. Because where they're going to get the money from, Mark? Where you think they're going to get the money from? Because the money that was available before, they didn't take advantage until Donald Trump came in. Where they going to get the money
Exactly.
from?
Yeah, but I mean, uh, America or Donald Trump is not the whole world. So they could get money from other people
No,
that
no, no, no. What
got.
I'm saying there,
Uh-huh.
because there was some money set aside. That was, you remember the
Yeah.
woman called Vansha and Ali who they visited Liberia twice. They will get the money. Just sign the paper. They were telling him, sign. And we give the money to build wherever they needed. But now the good old man came in and said, no, our taxpayer money, we cut it all in. So now, if you agree with the world economy, so you got to go to Sweden, you got to go to Holland, you go to France, you now start backing again. You see that process?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Brother Paul, but I mean, uh, and I agree with you. That's what we keep saying. I keep saying the same thing, that these guys are not serious to clean up the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, the war and economic crime code is also part of the cleaning up of the country
Mhm.
from evil practices, from bad practices. But no government is serious to clean up the country when it comes to the mess that the country is in, because that's one of the biggest problems in the country: the corruption, the massive corruption from one government to another, the mismanagement from one government to another. So until you have a government who is willing to clean up the country, look,
Yeah.
there's this video I watched about Ibrahim Traore. He said his first week interview, they asked him how his salary going to be. He said, no, I'm going to continue with the same salary that I had when I was, how do you call this? I think he's a captain or something. So
Yeah.
he said, that's the same salary I'm going to continue with. And if Burkina Faso goes hungry, then I need not to be president in this country. And he meant what he said. And the next
Visionary.
day, he turned off all the air conditions in his country. And they asked him, why, Mr. President, are you going to be in the heat? He said, why should I be in the air condition and the child in the classroom? They are 30, 40 students in the classroom and they are sweating and they can't focus right. So he turned on the air conditioner. He said, until the doctors will have air conditions in their, how they call it,
Hospital.
offices and in the operation room, the
Mhm.
hospitals, until the teachers will have good condition, I, the president of this country, I won't have air condition in my office. And that's a president who is willing to do the good work of the people. Since since he been in power, I believe he has traveled like 8 times because I count his trips. Okay, he don't just leave the country, and he's not a president who go to their mansion or their palace and sit there. No, he's always out there on the field. Sometimes go to where the people are working doing roads development. Sometimes go in the field where the people are doing the agriculturalists are working. Sometimes go to see the different projects around the country. That's how he spent his 8 hours. Okay, so that's a man who mean business. So everybody has to follow. Yeah, you can see your commander in chief on the field throwing rocks with his bare hands. Okay, helping to clean the garbage from the community, and then you ride a conditioned car. Hell no, you'll be scared.
But Mark, you play football, we play the game. When you're captain of the team, you lead a team to victory, lead by example. You motivate your fellow players because they see you working extremely hard. You cannot be working hard, then your fellow colleagues they being lazy. Traore is leading by example, and
Yep.
that's why you see things are
That's what they
working.
call leadership.
Yeah, lead by
That's what they
example.
call leadership.
Exactly. And this is what we lack of in Liberia. We don't have leaders that lead off with example. So look, what happened? During the election, we were in Liberia campaigning, telling people so it was wrong to go back to Unity Party that abused the country for 12 years, that stole the most money. It's like this woman living with this guy. This guy become, how they call it, he beating her every day, called domestic violence. The woman walk away, went to another man, then say, oh no, the man, he too cheap. Let me go back to the guy who was beating me for 12 years. This is what Liberia did to themselves. They went back to the most corrupt people called Unity Party, thinking that yes, the old man had some people logic was big, were put in place. Say, look, because of his age, he will not be flamboyant. He will do the right thing. He will do that because he will not need all of these things. To everybody's surprise.
Yeah, but brother Paul, that's why I keep talking about the processing of thought. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah,
From the how they call this the CPP, right?
yeah.
Okay. The CPP, people supposed to know that Barker was a very divisive old man, and that Barker was not a leader. Yeah, people should have known that because had he been a leader, he would have unified the CPP, and then they go because by that time, Mr. Cummings would have been open. Had Barker call him in the room and say, "Hey, I'm an old man. You and I, we need not to spoil money or on convention. You understand? And you Cummings, you had the connection. You travel, even though we part of the CPP, but you always traveling out there. Name one place that Barker before I continue. Name one place that Barker went to when he was part of the CPP. Name one international event that Barker was invited to.
None.
You can name one, right?
It's
None.
none.
Okay, but here is somebody they say he has a connection, he has the experience, and 12 years of vice president. 12 years of vice president, you did not establish any network, you did not make contact with any network out there, and Liberian people turn around and vote for you. And then two, okay, in some countries you got what they call this older people that have been president before, that have been prime minister before, that have been kings and queen before. But the idea here, they put the people interest first. And this is what Baka never uh, he, he he hasn't done and will never do to put the Liberian people interest first. Look at the massive corruption that from the time Baka took over in his government. I can name few here. For example, when they took over, the how they call it, the National Bank and the Finance Ministry, the money that we are government left. I'll come back to your answer. And then two, the $20 million road funding project, okay, that they say, oh, yeah, they went and how they call it, fix some roads in the country. So, and then two, the building of the, how they call this, the palace,
Honorable Union Palace.
palace
Info, yeah.
Vacante, okay, how that money was approved. And forget to know the running beyond Samba 12 today, okay? And the same thing the running beyond Samba 12 for is the same thing that their finance minister has done. Because the executive branch of mansion, the executive mansion, excuse me, the executive mansion, first of all, don't have money of their own for the late grace pay to just take $10 million to say, okay, let's build this palace in Lofa County. So who approved that money? If you had a responsible legislature, they would have been asking questions. Who approved that money? How you got that money? They will call the finance minister, okay, before them to ask questions. Who gave you the authority to approve that money for that particular project? Who approved that project? Okay, but these are things that Liberian people don't care about. So back to your question, brother Paul. Like Liberian people are very difficult people to deal with, brother Paul, to satisfy. Nobody has powered our country compared to Mr. Cummings. They call Mr. Cummings 1%. You can hit somebody, okay? But listen to the person message that our older people always say. Don't refuse the call, but refuse what is in the call. And Mr. Cummings' message, don't like it, but Mr. Cummings' message, listen to it and make a decision. Yeah. So Liberian people are not ready for change, brother Paul.
Yeah,
Because
you
this
know,
man has given you different examples as to how he's going to get the country out of the infrastructure degradation that the country is in. But Liberian people call him 1%. But yes, a man every now and then when there's an international event, he's invited to.
you know, Brother Mark, you said it right. Yesterday, I was at an event and we were talking about Liberia, how Liberia is proceeding badly. And this guy, I was trying to tell him that, look, Liberia will not change. And when I said Liberia will not change, I say home and abroad. We're in the diaspora and those that are home. We're not waiting for change. I say, look, if you travel, the travel child, what the travel child see more than a child who don't travel. You travel from Liberia, you went all around before getting on the island called the United Kingdom, the UK. And the thing that you saw in those places before arriving here, and then you live here, you see the process of how people think. Because if election coming, people don't just go and vote for people. They only vote because what they will benefit. It's not the person you voting for will benefit, but you as a citizen, what will benefit you? This guy yesterday having a conversation, he said he's angry with Mr. Cummings because while the Cummings joined the people he should have been on his own, because of that he angry, so he will not vote Cummings. And then I said, this is the point I'm making. You know, among the best candidate, but because you get something against somebody, you say you're not going to vote, then you expect change. Listen to that kind of listen to that thinking.
But then you should have asked a question that, okay, you said Comey is associate or Comey associate himself with XYZ person, but who did you vote for the past two elections? He voted for one of them, right?
He voted for
that. Tell you
so
that the same process I'm talking about. The process
exactly.
Yeah, it's someone who say he hates Comey because Comey affiliates himself with bad, how they gonna say,
apples,
potatoes or apples. Yeah. But then he went and voted for one of the bad apples. Instead of saying, okay, I will remain neutral because there's nobody that I see to do the good work of the Liberian people. That should tell you how Liberian people think, brother Paul.
And this is the point I'm trying to really tell you that exactly The way they think is not only in Liberia, it's also
It's
Liberia.
also outside.
Yeah.
I
So
have faced, I have faced countless, how to call it, situation just like you. Yeah.
this so we're not willing to change, brother. And it's really sad. And then they argue, oh, the country not going nowhere. Hallelujah. You just voted for the old man, and you knew that the old man are not going to carry anywhere. So the old man came and lied to the nation, said that he was living on loan. Well, a minute, he served 12 years, and we know in Liberia when you serving for you serve 12 years as vice president. The car you ride, it's not your car, government car. The fuel that in that car is government fuel. Everything about you is being looked after. Your salary, you're not even touch your salary until you leave office. And then you come back to tell the people after 12 years, there's no accountability, no auditing will carry on in your office. No, nothing will carry on. And he told the people, say, oh, you have worked all your life, you have not took a dime or penny from any government institution. But wait a minute, those sack you for $2 million investment when you're in London. You and one for the family. For the massacre. What happened? Amos Sawyer fire you for something. But he told the people that he was living on a loan. So the Liberian, because we don't process information, people didn't ask. But this guy was the one that had a budget for the group of 72nd, the disabled people. The people stay on the street. What did he do with their money? So you see where I'm heading? And people bought into it. Why can't we process things and we don't? This is a situation. Talk to me, Brother Mark.
Yeah, Brother Paul. Some of the issue we raise here has also to do with the journalism institutions or the media institutions we get in the country.
Yeah.
Because some of these things they need to educate the public about it as to who is poor and what has
Go on, Mark.
okay, who is poor and what has he done when it comes to being handed government responsibility, most especially in the higher, okay, echelon of the Liberian political dispensation. So you 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 have the journalists, they are not even said it can be people that want to 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 execute this position. You understand? Because if the journalists were doing the good work, they will go into whosoever that want to be president in the country, go and dig their history, if possible, from high school days. Okay, as to this man track record. What has he been doing? How can we trust him with a higher office? You understand?
Yeah.
Even going to represent the income in the legislature, okay, as to what this man have been doing and how can we trust him to represent us in our first branch of government. But instead, the journalists, they will bring us something today, and because some of them going to get brown envelope or fear, you go low, that is that they will bring us something tomorrow, all of a sudden, it died down. Nothing happened. What is the Beer Mountain case today? Let me tell you. The Beer Mountain case. And since the Beer Mountain issue, have you seen any other journalist to go to, besides Julius Jail and his colleague on the Oak Clarence? Have you seen any journalist to go to Asela Meta? Have you seen any government official to go around the Asela Meta? The China Union? Have you seen any government official? But there's one lawmaker the other day that I wanted to talk about, and he's the senator from Sano County who talk about these things. And to my surprise, Brother Paul, Liberia still signing concession like the Firestone or even worse than the Firestone Agreement during 1939. 3 cents on a dollar. Can you imagine? A country get 3 cents on a dollar and a foreigner gets 97 cents. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Concession being signed in the country. And the person that making that noise, Liberian people say, oh my man, you probably just talking on nothing, so on nothing, move from here. Things are supposed to wake the Liberian people up to say, what? This thing happening in my county or in my country? No way. This thing have to change. No, but Liberian people are not moved by that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I like that. This is where we are. I mean, so we're going to jump
So for
into
example, a comment. You think a
Yeah.
comment in a business discussion or business people come in the country negotiating with a comment. The other day I saw someone, I don't want to give credence, so I'm not going to call the name, talking some nonsense, but Cummins, we are Bill Hedney himself. But Cummins work for a company. I'm like, this guy is talking nonsense. First of all, you think one man can play against 11 men? You see the process? And there's a man who, I think you know who I'm talking about. There's a man who call himself, how to call this, an engineer or some architect or something. We are basically himself and Ezra Cummings, how to call this, welcoming for himself. So I'm like, you know what it takes for somebody to study from high school to master?
but Brother Margo, you know, this is what I'm saying. Say, Liberian homes and abroad, they don't want change. Because the fact is, I play football with we are. We were with the same age group, we were the kids together going all around Morofia, call this thing Olympic every Saturday, Sunday, somewhere we all play together. Now, playing with him, his popularity, because he became very famous. So based on that popularity, you gave him whole country to run. No, they have people. That's why when you go for jobs, before the employer take you, they'll ask you the job you're going for. They want to see what sort of experience you have. So when you may not be in a particular field, but the knowledge that you're bringing in, that will give them a clue that yes, we gave this person a job.
Exactly.
They'll be able to perform.
But you don't see that as I mean, the academic accomplishment don't count. So he was saying, oh yeah, because we are got a Ballon d'Or, but you forget, I mean, Ballon d'Or and being voted African Footballer of the Year. And those things, these are collective effort, even though we had the skill, but they were collective effort around we are, for which we are, how to call this, accomplish what he accomplished. And I'm very proud of Weah because he was a great help to my brother. So I'm not going to demonize President Weah in any way. But when it comes to Liberia, there where I have problem with the president because the people he surround himself with. But anyway, that's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm alluding to, that they made famous, but the fact is, he famous, he played the soccer, you gave him the country, go make decision for my life. And you expect him to make decision. That's why it became so hard. He could not stand it. That's why he started going to the studio to make music. And then the same people saying, let's bring this man back. The job was too big for him. That's why he started going to the musical studio.
No, but honestly speaking, I've been telling people that had I been someone in the Weah orbit, I will tell the president, the former president, Once a soldier, always a soldier, right? So I would tell the former president, that he should not make that mistake to come back to contest the presidency, because what he has accomplished in Africa and in the world is very recognized. He's recognized for that transition and peacefully turning over power. And no president have done that easily, because he could have stayed in power if he wanted to. And
Yeah.
what President Weah did, he should not come back because of
Yes.
greedy people to put his name in the mud.
Yeah.
Because what they are trying to do is to put the president name in the mud, because some of them have mismanaged whatsoever they accumulated over the past year. So for that reason, all the people that you find singing, oh yeah, President Weah should come back to power, like this other clown who just throw English around, vocabulary around. I don't know, one, I won't call the fellow name, but he just throw the English word around, and people just around him when they ask him. I think he was some kind of minister for somewhere. They asked him, he got any farm? He said, yeah, he got pepper garden right behind your house. I'll tell you. And these are people that are desperate that President Weah should come back to power, and forgetting to know that the citizens were very, very disappointed with the leadership of President Weah, because it was just about President Weah and they seen Samuel Toure, Bill Touare, and Bill Touare, he think he's off the hook. They will go after Bill Touare too, just back when war. He
Yeah.
think he's
Yeah.
off the hook, but they just trying to get Samuel Toure. Once they get Samuel Toure, they are going to go after Bill Touare. What happened at the National Port Authority? So President Weah should not come back to say he want to contest election. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
you
and
need
I like what you're saying, because what happens if you set a record, you don't want to go back to tarnish that record that you set.
yeah,
It make it, people will ignore the record now and see you as something. Before we move on to the next topic, what you just said, the guy called Saladin Zidane, who also won a Ballon d'Or. Do
yes,
you know Zidane did something after he retired from football? He did
yeah.
something. He
Real
became
Madrid,
Real Madrid. When he
the first
won the
coach.
title with the Real Madrid, he stepped aside. So, and
Hmm.
since then, he refused to go and take management before people see him as a failure. So, if
Even Real Madrid, they having problem to call him
he,
back. And
he's not going to come back. So you see, if we are set that standard and the people see him, he will be this war, what they call the peace ambassador that he always carried. But coming back to go tarnish a reputation, I think if he wise enough, he should not. And I agree with you.
further President Weah, if he got good advisor around him, what he would do, he would build a foundation, and that foundation that people will be the international community. He's very recognizable, and the international community can refer to him as he could take that role again as global peace ambassador
See,
to go to set how they call it, election dispute in third world countries, and go to represent the UN in some other area or on some other forum, which he has the ability to do as a former president. And that's the kind of foundation our president we are will
yeah,
bring even technicians, good technicians to put together there and grow that foundation. And he will receive millions of dollars of money from outside.
outside, yeah, I
Then
agree.
giving his a headache with Liberian presidency. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So, for those of you that joining us, this is the audience with the Lord Choloply. Every Sunday on this platform at 8 o'clock United Kingdom time, 7 o'clock Liberia time, and 9 o'clock Central European time. My co-host is Mark Arthur from Sweden. We're here every Sunday. So, and then Butterline return on Tuesday at 8 o'clock UK time. and Friday the same 8 o'clock UK time, which should be 7 o'clock Liberia time. So join us on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday is Friends and Mensa with my story, and then on Sunday you have the audience with the Lord Choloply, the friend of King Charles. So for those of you that are joining us, share the show, and Mark, let's move to our last segment of the thing, the Liberia Guinea border issue. We're not going to leave this story. So the question here to our audience, the land dispute between Liberia and Guinea, has Liberia sold out? We just want to know, have Liberia sold out? And while we're asking this question, Mark, the government of Liberia refused to talk to us when the hell is happening to the border issue. The border issue. No one's talking about it. There's a lot of noise in the country. They removing Yeke, they expel Yeke Koluba because of that. They won't go after a few other people. Journalists not allowed to say anything. The whole thing is just quiet. So my question to our audience, have Liberia sold out? Why they can't talk about it? We in the 4th month of the invasion. I call it invasion. It's no longer dispute, because the fact is that if people gone there, put off flag, start building homes to live, they invaded our territory. And we keep hearing this silent diplomacy. Have Liberia sold out? What say you, my dear brother?
Yeah, that's a good question, Brother Paul. And honestly speaking, I myself, uh, I'm, I'm, I'm still yet shocked and listen to what happened at the ECOWAS Parliament the other day. That a Nigerian or a Ghanaian lawmaker, when he stood up to speak, and he said that there's something Liberia is not telling us. That statement, with my little skill when it comes to analysis, I try to process that back and forth and make some other comparison, uh, going to some maps that from the articles from the State Department website, and because that part of the land are getting occupied crossing, because the river has always served as a demarcation, and then some cornerstone that the Liberian, the first time by that time the Guinean army was not on the territory, I mean in Liberia on the Liberian territory. There's a cornerstone. Then I try to locate that cornerstone on the map. Then that people say it's across the river, right? So if it is across the river, then the river doesn't serve as a demarcation. Rather, the demarcation is on the side of Liberia across the river. So then, which part of that land belongs to Guinea is what the Liberian people are not telling us. And this uh, parliamentarian, I want to believe he's a Ghanaian, I mean Nigerian from the accent, right? That there's something that Liberia is not telling us. And that is what the executive branch is not brave enough to tell us, but they are pursuing this, how do you call this, shadow diplomacy, I call it, and no head, no tail, and Liberian people. And this is where I get frustrated with our journalists, beside Clarence and Julia J. Beside Clarence and Julia J, who are those? Uh, None. Okay. And they are not consistent on when this issue affect Liberia big time. Okay. Losing piece of land is like losing your brother or your sister, uh, from one father, one mother. So Liberian will feel comfortable with it. But this is something that Liberians also, first of all, the Unity Party doesn't uh, they are not in majority when it comes to our lawmakers. You understand? And I'm so disappointed with the opposition lawmakers, even if they were in minority. Okay, I'm still disappointed. I'm also disappointed with them because they are not asking questions. Okay, so what happened again? They leave from Lofa now. They jump to how they call it? They jump to Bon County. I think Bon County again got border or bombing. Okay, what happened if they leave from there? They get to Nima County and Guinea continue to go like that and take land from Liberia. Should we be quiet about it?
And that is the question, because look, Mark, I can come in your home and be sitting in your living room and tell you, Mark, you're not allowed in your own living room.
And now they
You
move, even though I like Yeke, because Yeke is a traitor, okay? In the sense that he left us because he was part of ANC, but he left us the nonsensical explanation that he gave because Liberian people know, but I tell Liberian people, they're not pressure you when you jump and want to support Joseph Barker because you are tribalist also, you understand? When you went to support your fellow Lofian, you left the ANC. But yet that statement, how do you call it? What
they say it's treasonous.
it's a fact. No, not treasonous. It's a fact that the place that Yeke point finger to or Yeke point at to say that place belong to Guinea. It's a fact. And if it is a fact that that place belongs to Guinea, that means to say you can need to take the Liberian government to court. And which court? To the ECOWAS court.
Brother Mark, I like what you're saying here. I really like what you're saying. Yeke, they refuse to call Yeke to find out where you got your facts from. They hurriedly remove him, they expel him. They said there is no smoke without fire. So if you know the thing Yeke is saying is not true, why remove him from office? You call him to question him. Say, what you got your...
And then too, Brother Paul, let me you see, this whole thing, first of all, many of us believe from the unfolding, right? Yeah. That the river served, and I just made a statement, the river was served as a demarcation between Liberia and Guinea. But there's a cornerstone that even Liberia point to on the side of Liberia across the river, yeah, that serve as the boundary between Liberia and Guinea. And if that's so, because Liberia have the notion that that place, the river, once you cross the river, then you are on Liberian side, which is not the case.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. But then,
even to the place where the Liberian, when they were throwing stone at the Guinean on the other side of the river, that also the cornerstone is way on the side of Liberia, all the way on the side of Liberia. So that means that place is for Guinea. Is Yeke right?
But this is the question. So this is what we want to know. If I'm a certain lawmaker and made such a remark, he also from Lofa County, we might not leave that out. He's a son of the land. And he said the people have been talking. The old people in that area know that that particular part from his survey is for Guinea. So what the government should have done, call Yeke. Where you got the information from?
Who are your sources?
Yes, get the information, but no, they decided, no, we have to take him out of the house. So taking him out of the house, the Guineans stay on the land. You see what happened? The Guineans stay sitting on the land. So if the Guineans stay sitting on the land and then they stay there 4 months, we keep hearing it's a silent diplomacy, but nobody seeing movement. All right, let me give an example. When Israel first attacked Iran, There was a UN meeting straight away that these people, they are the aggressors, and people are talking. You see what I'm talking about? We
Mhm.
have Monorail Union, we have ECOWAS, we have the AU, then the United Nations. 4 months, apart from Malam Bio, Johnny Boyka to go see Dumuya,
Nobody
Monorail
has
Union
accused
have
Guinea
not
of
called
as being
any
aggressors.
meeting. We said it now, Washington. ECOWAS have not called any meeting, emergency meeting on the issue.
No, the ECOWAS, they have had meeting, but it was an emergency, and then Snow and two other lawmakers that I just got to know about. They also presented Liberia side of the argument or whatsoever to the parliament. They were not
No,
uh,
no, no,
okay,
no, no,
okay,
no, brother, no.
okay.
They have the ECOWAS parliament that they meet every now and then.
Mm-hmm,
But the executive branch of Liberia should be
mm-hmm.
the one to engage in the ECOWAS leader. They're making a complaint. Now the parliamentarian
I,
are
I
just
agree.
going,
I agree.
yeah.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with
See,
you. They should
so
have been one. They should have taken the first step. Yeah, they should have been the one to complain Guinea if Guinea violated any international, laws when it comes to the invasion of another man's territory.
you
But that
see,
has not been the case from the Liberian government.
so you
Yeah.
see the point now driving on. So 4 months on, no Honorable Union emergency meeting to this for the full nation to meet to put this thing to bed. It have not happened. The ECOWAS country, the executive branch of Liberia have not engaged ECOWAS. So everything quiet. The president went to the AU conference. Nothing mentioned about the Guinea situation. We have our own brother, Louis Brown. He's sitting on the Security Council. UN have not called for any dialogue between Liberia and Guinea. So the question here is, what Yeke said, it could be truth. We don't know. Is that why they expel Yeke, or have Liberia sold out to Guinea and they're not seeing the truth? Because how on earth somebody will come in your living room for 4 months and refuse to move, your wife and children asking questions, Papa, sweetheart, when is man going to leave? And he said, no, I'm talking to my neighbors, but your wife and children not seeing the movement of any of your neighbors, and you quiet. Something is not right. And the government of Liberia refused to talk about it. They banned journalists from going there. If your politician
Paul,
talk troubles, yeah, one second. If you talk about it, they come after you. Something
yeah,
not
but,
right.
but what is not right is that the Liberian government is not courageous enough to tell the Liberian people the truth here when it comes to the border. Because that cornerstone that the fellow was pointing to and how the French people they geographically identify as to the anchor of the cornerstone, where it point to or where certain part of the cornerstone point to, then that's the land article is that's what will determine as to which part of the land belong to which country. So when the fellow, I saved that video somewhere. It will take long time for me because I saved a lot of videos.
Yeah.
So I think you have seen that video before. And when he started to do this demonstration, then I'm like, okay, but then is it what Yeke was referring to? And if this is what Yeke was referring to, because the Guinean now, they have crossed the river, they have crossed to where the Liberian immigration or how to call it, authority used to be, and they are all the way 8 miles into Liberia to where some Liberian, how to call it, villagers used to do farming, and they have also driven them from there all the way into what we call Liberia. But Guinea is claiming that place for them. So is it what Yeke was referring to? And Yeke was removed. Yeke was removed. This is the real witch hunt now that
Mm.
removed Yeke. And for me, I don't feel sorry for Yeke because of what he betrayed the ANC. But I don't
Yeah.
support witch hunt anyway. That's it, right? He can
Yeah.
change from one political party to another.
Just
Yeah.
want to recognize Emmanuel. He's following us from YouTube and he watching us from, is that Minnesota? Some yes, USA. Thanks, Emmanuel,
Yeah.
for joining us and keep following the show. It's good. We're back here on Tuesday and Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So the bottom line number is increasing. Pretty soon we'll have the Monday slot as well, Monday and Wednesday. So people are coming with a lot of things. So thanks for following us too. It's good to see you. And you've been on this platform before. We have seen you following for a long time. We have not seen you. Thanks for being back. So, Brother Mark, I think this was the situation with the border issue. From my own perspective, from the way I see things, because I'm not seeing any movement. So I can come to the conclusion until that movement is shown, I can come to the conclusion that I think Liberia sold out. That would be my
I
conclusion
won't, I
on it.
won't, I won't call it sell out. I think the issue of the border, because this border something has been back and forth, right?
Yeah,
This is not the first time. It has happened during the Taylor time, and the Taylor time it didn't happen under the Ellen time. I want to believe, and it didn't happen under the Weir time. I want to believe, but only under the Baka time. And the question here is why? Okay, after all this long, after 18 years, so it didn't happen until another Baka time. So the question here is why? And then two, if the case is established that the place belongs to Guinea, I mean, the government should be brave enough and tell the Liberian people, well, this place belongs to Guinea, make the historical presentation to the Liberian people and let the people move on. And those that were affected, how best they can be compensated. But I don't believe they're going to be compensated. They're just going to be left like that because of irresponsible government, first of all, that don't care for its citizens. And since the people got displaced in that area, but lawmakers were able to take, I think, $200,000, the
yeah.
speaker, to go put lawmakers on the bus and singing nonsense the more we are together. And
And the lawmaker were called back, giving money to remove one of their own. But they
yeah,
could not
to
talk about the
remove one of
border
the
issue. Could you
yeah,
imagine this? That's why I'm saying something. That's why I come to my own conclusion. I may be wrong, but for look at things, looking at from a distance, and I've not seen any movement. Now, what happened? The government is they creating noise every day. Something else will come up that will you wouldn't hear anything about the border. When people playing games like that, then I become to wonder. They can sitting on my land, but you don't talk about it. But every day you come out with new kind of story. So I may be wrong, but I think the government they gave it.
look,
Guinea, this is this
Brother Bo,
is,
I want to make my I want to make my last statement also.
yeah, please do.
You know, at last, what I want to say is that I thank our viewers and followers, and I want you to. I mean, I don't want you, but I'm appealing to you that you don't wait until campaign before you start talking to your people. You don't wait until campaign before you start helping them to process thoughts. You don't wait until campaign before you start educating them with what you know or how you think the country can move forward. And they shouldn't sell out for $100, for $50, for $25, for whatsoever. No amount of money they gave them can 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 make Liberia a better Liberia. So they should vote their conscience. They should listen to the message from the people that want to lead them, and not because the person is short or tall, or not because the person's voice is uh, big like mine, or not because the person speak louder or it's louder, but listen to what the person message it is, how the person gonna transform your life, how the person gonna transform the lives of your children, how the person gonna take care of the older people, what kind of environment they're gonna create, what kind of environment they're gonna create when it comes to your children education, what kind of environment they're gonna create when it comes to your health care, what kind of environment they're going to create when it comes to teachers making good salary so that students don't bribe them, so that our children will, they are the future leader of the country. What kind of environment the person going to create so that Liberia used to be the father of Africa. Liberia used to be the champion of African democracy, of African revolution. Liberia used to be the champion. Liberia got independent before most African countries apart from Ethiopia. Liberia used to be sitting at the table when decisions were being made when it comes to uh, international relations, when it comes to things that affect Africa. A lot of African leaders came to Liberia before their country got independent. But today, look at Liberia, look at our country. Our country is alive and stuff. Look, go on YouTube for yourself. Type Liberia in the 70s, type Liberia in the 80s, type Liberia in the 60s, type Liberia, if possible, in the 50s. There are videos. The great queen, the queen of the great England, okay, United Kingdom, used to come to Liberia, okay? Great leaders came to Liberia. But today, look at Liberia.
Yeah.
The whole Georgia presidency, there were only few leaders from around West Africa that came to Liberia. I think one or two that came from afar. No European leader ever touched Liberia. No European prime minister came to Liberia. The same thing with the Baka government. No leader from afar, from Asia, from Europe. Okay, no European prime minister going to visit our country. Okay, visiting a country, they come with investment interest, but nothing for that matter where the country is going. So it's time that when you voting, you vote your conscience. Electricity insufficient in the country. Water is insufficient in the country. The port. Look the other day, a lawmaker paying $30,000 to free his container from the free port. Okay, then think about your family that are struggling in the diaspora. Why is it some people can send things? Some of your family members got old TV, 2, 3 TV. They got some, how they call it, computer. They could put in container. They got some old things put in a container to send to you. Okay,
Yeah.
but the free port is so expensive. But we keep signing concession, extending concession. The contract will expire. We could put our own technicians together to manage that port. But why do we, our government, want to extend the contract? And now you're talking about voting the CDC government in power 2029. When these people, they make the country to be difficult for you. Foreigners come in the country, the foreigners, they ride decent cars, they are enjoying, they're living better than you. Okay? The food concession that been signed from the UP government to the CDC government, all these things supposed to move you at the Liberian people and say, look, enough is enough. If we vote for 0%, let's vote for 0%, and let's see what 0% will do for us. So that's a message I'm appealing to you people to carry to your Liberian family and friends. Let them listen to the read the person platform and listen to what is coming from the horse's mouth. But don't just vote for people because they can speak BB English. They love it. Thank you. And you'll have a pleasant good night.
Thank you, brother Mark. Thank you for that. And I think this is the time that Liberia should look at the third option. And the third option, in my opinion, among who all are standing, comments now stand a better chance for Liberia to make a good determination. Look at him. Look at his work that he done, the places he worked, his achievement. Gave him Liberia. Yeah, he do something with the country. The country has gone somewhere else. And start next Sunday we're trying to get Dr. Dumoya on this program to talk about the Ebola issue. Hopefully next Sunday we'll have him. And then the Sunday after we'll have Councillor Caroline Mabir, who just won her seat in the UK. One of the council she serves or Liberia will have her here on the 7th. So that will be interesting. We're looking at so the next 2 weeks we're going to be based on this platform. So for those of you joining us for the first time, this is the audience with the Lord Choloply every Sunday at 8 o'clock UK time, 7 o'clock Liberian time, and 9 o'clock Central European time with my co-host, Brother Martha. It's good to have you here, and we're back here on Tuesday. Tuesday is the regular bottom line program, Tuesday and Friday. Then on Saturday, we'll have Francis Mensa who comes up with my story. So on that note, gentlemen, it was a and ladies that are following us, we want to say thanks for being with us. Every good thing must come to us. And Brother Mark, it's good seeing you. I know tomorrow is holiday here. I will have a really long sleep tonight. Wake up wherever time I want and just relax before I go back to work on Tuesday. So it was pleasure having all of you on this audience with the Lord Church, and we shall see you all back next week, Sunday, by His grace. So on this note, I want to say good night, bro. You want to say good night to the audience, Mark? So I can.
Yeah, I want to say good night to, our sisters, our mothers, and to the young ladies, and to our brothers and fathers that are following us. Yeah, and to all Liberians that are following us. Share the show. It's not because of popularity, but we want a message. We want to help our people as to uh, preparing for the next election so that the country can move forward. Thank you. Good
Thank
night.
you. And on that note, I want to say have a pleasant good night wherever you're watching from. We are back here on Tuesday. Join us on Tuesday and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Good night and see you all.
Good
Have a
night.
blessed evening.